Thank you to each and every one of you for being with us here today. We are very pleased to be able to welcome you to this center to celebrate the International Day for Persons with Disability. The theme of this year is leadership and participation of persons with disability towards an inclusive, accessible and sustainable post-COVID-19 world. And we are proud to be able to host it at this wonderful place with all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to briefly share with you about our center, our progress, and our projections. OCTC works with children and youth with mental conditions and syndromes in a daily and multidisciplinary system that is organized in 4 main areas of special education, rehabilitation and health, which includes physiotherapy, occupational therapy, speech and nutrition, and the third area being the vocational training in farming, and finally, community involvement and participation. All our works would not be possible were it not for our multidisciplinary team of staff and professionals and guided by our advisory board that we are glad to have the presentation today, and we listen to the chairperson and the members present. Ladies and gentlemen, in brief, allow me to share with you some key highlights for this year where we've been able to reach. Currently, we have 12 students who have since graduated and exited from the program. This is to mean that they have been able to go through the vocational training program and to start their own income-generating activities in their communities and within the society. In present, we have David India, Kevin Mageto, and Nasieku, plus Sabina, and we invite you kindly within the course of this activity to make a point of interacting with them so that you may be able to appreciate that the fact that disability does not mean inability. This year also, we had a great visit of the Right Honorable Patricia Scotland, the Secretary General of the Commonwealth, in line with the advocacy for the human rights and in recognition of the tasks and the works that we do. We've also been able to implement a clean and safe drinking water for our students here, just to be able to facilitate and reinforce the works that we are doing in rehabilitation. We have farming projects in place that have been supported by 2 embassies, the Irish Embassy and the Slovakia Aid. And the intention here is to further the empowerment of our youth with special needs, again, as a testimony that they are not unable to live like any one of us. Currently, we are working aggressively and in partnership with the Strathmore University School of Law and with the Embassy of Chile in creating an awareness campaign that is aimed to create more practical awareness about the rights of persons living with disability, with the intention to break, or rather to bridge the gap between the law, the structures, and how these rights and law touch the daily lives of persons living with disability.
My name is Eda Wakapa, and I'm honored to be part of the advisory board here at Don Orione. I'll be very brief. Today is, as we know, International Day of Persons with Disability, but I think what we can agree to is that we must work towards provision of a better future for people with disabilities, but more so consider them specially able as opposed to persons with disability. You know, we change the connotation from sort of negative, persons with disabilities, but people who are specially able. And I think that has been proven here at Don Orione. So I think this day, this event, should serve as a reminder for us to work together for the well-being, and most importantly, for the well-being of their lives as they continue blessing us in their special abilities. So thank you, and God bless you all.
I'm Josephine Seper Sharar, representing persons with disability in the Kajiado County Assembly. And I'm really happy for this. I'm also the Vice Chair of the Committee of Disability. And I'm happy for this, to grace this occasion. I really thank the Orion community for the invitation. Being a person with disability, I'm an accountant by profession. Before I was nominated, I was working as an accountant. And I've never seen I was the best worker, because the first thing with persons with disability, we don't escape from work. When we sit, we work. Leave alone the able people, because they can hang the coat on the chair and move around, but us, we work and we deliver. I was the best worker in that school. So what I want to say is that we don't need, as persons with disability, we don't need sympathy. We just need to be supported, to be appreciated, and to be given opportunity to show our ability.
As Ambassador of Chile in Kenya and fellow citizen to Father Alex, I want to thank him especially for once again offering the Orioni Center to commemorate the International Day of Persons with Disabilities, which, as you all know, is a date agreed by the United Nations since 1992 to bring awareness around the world about the hard realities and obstacles people with disabilities have to face every day of their life. And this is true, it's every day of their life. It's not just one day, 1 week, or 1 hour. It's every day when they wake up in the morning, they have to face their reality. A reality that's not hard only on them, but it's also how they move around, where they go, the obstacles they find in the street, the obstacles they find when they go to a building with only stairs. It's something we people who are lucky enough not to have a physical disability do not realize it unless we put themselves in their shoes. So this for me is one of the most important days that the United Nations commemorate, bringing us awareness of this reality.
I really believe it's not time to say too much. It's time to start to do. Maybe that is what we need to reflect. Today, just 2 simple remarks. Number 1, to tell you that to make changes and impact in the life of people, we don't need so many things. We don't need a lot of money. We don't need a lot of people. Just few people who has conviction. And my second remark is for our dear officials from our county. We have not done a lot. We have done a little. I cannot say today that the county has supported us a lot. No, some people from the county, that is different. Some people. It is our responsibility as leaders to do more. Because when we receive that responsibility, we know the mission is not easy. Nobody said that it will be easy. And our people need answer, or at least an explanation, but not empty promises. So we need to do more. We are willing to receive suggestions. I'm proud to say that I have a very professional team to ensure that any money who come to this institution go to the people. So we need to do more. Please pass this message to the governor and to the deputy governor, that even some of them have not answered our invitation. that is impolite. Because we have ambassadors and people from the diplomatic corps. Our country, we need to be also in the international level. Please.
About this particular day, also we want to appreciate Don Orione Center working closely with Strathmore University for even the laws that and the policies that you have worked towards ensuring that they will be achievable in terms of bringing these people together. As the bishop talked about, the one was presenting the bishop, we need also to continue taking care and ensuring in every capacity and every representation there is proper representation of the people with disability. One of them maybe you may have a particular weakness, but in one way or another they are strength. And today I also want to recognize our teams, especially in Kajiado County. I like the team of people with disability, the deaf team of Kajiado County. Recently, in the just concluded, there was a tournament that was going on here in Nairobi, and I can tell you, the team from Kajiado County, the team of the deaf, they were number 1 and they got a gold medal. So that's something to appreciate. It will not end well without mentioning the talents of somebody like Deno, who is a gospel musician, who is from here in Ongata Rungai. He's one of the best musicians. Deno is well known. And in one way or another, these people with disability, they have their own strength. So it's important for us as we mark this particular day to continue empowering, to continue working with them and nurturing the different talents that they carry. And I believe if we do so, God is going to bless us.
You are watching TV47. Entrepreneurs around the country are creatively grinding.
I started with a borrowed phone.
A borrowed phone?
Yeah, that could last 2 hours with charge.
We just have to do quality work for them.
To make their mark in an unpredictable market.
It was now going on a sales venture, looking for stockists, door to door.
On the grind, we bring you their stories so you can tell yours. Every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Men are known to be the pillars.
We're rising up together.
Say your point. You need an alpha male now to come and help you and your girl.
Anaongea zero.
And women, they are the cornerstone that hold the pillars.
Don't be entitled. A man is peaceful, a man knows how to talk to a lady.
This November, the Men's Conference brings a cocktail.
Simple. To promote the rights and well-being of persons with disabilities in all spheres of society and development, and to increase awareness of the situation of persons with disabilities in every aspect of political, social, economic and cultural life. And I was curious to check something more. The United Nations puts the world population to be 7 billion, and out of this we have over 1 billion people living with disabilities. Today I want to emphasize not so much about this number being huge, being a big number, but more about where these people are found. Where are the majority found? And the United Nations tells us that 80% live in developing countries. And this worries me a lot. From my experience, I have seen in Kenya,
how the people living with disabilities are treated. Despite the efforts made since 1992, when such a day was first observed or was proclaimed, inclusion and accessibility still remains to be kind of far away for many of these people or persons. This year's theme, leadership and the participation of persons with disabilities toward an inclusive, accessible, sustainable post-COVID world, I believe should serve as an awakening call that we are still not yet there. And allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to recognize that the Orion Community Training Center, Kandisi, is a leader and an example that a disability in an employee does not mean inability. And is a good example to each and every one of us. I hope that many institutions will be willing to accept, to employ persons with disability in their places or in their institution. As I've said, our country may have made some progress in terms of laws safeguarding the rights of persons with disability, but allow me to speak from a very practical point of view, that inclusion and accessibility in our country still faces many hurdles. From where I sit, in the other side of Kandara, where we have another center just like this one, I have witnessed a number of issues regarding the way these people or persons with disability suffer, in most cases hidden from the public eye, or are forced to endure a lot of stigmatization. We have stimulus packages, yes, set aside to help these people, but rarely they get to them. Many who could have benefited end up frustrated from a lot of delays, even in simply acquiring the ID, the special IDs for these people. And those who have them simply get too little to change anything in their life. So I have also noticed from my experience in the community that the accessories like wheelchairs, adapted bicycles, and even just the white cane for those who are blind are out of reach of many people. That simply may be too expensive, or they are not easily available. And for those who have these accessories, using them to move from one point to another, in most cases, is very difficult. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know that the private sector, for instance, in Kenya, the private sector operated vehicles have no space for even a single person in a wheelchair, for it will consume more space. And neither the government has any vehicle in the public transport sector. Most building, we can testify, I think each and every one of us know that most buildings and facilities are simply not accessible to this group of people. Needless to say that even our homes, if we were to get some form of life-altering accident, we simply cannot even access our home. We have big steps in front of our doors. The doors maybe are too narrow to allow a wheelchair. The light sockets are too high to reach, and many other things that we can simply state or We all know about these things. While a number of disabilities is visible at a glance, we have another form of disability that is little known or completely ignored: the intellectual disability. Many of those suffering this kind of disability are in most cases hidden by families. Why? Because society has taught us by labeling it a curse or a bad omen. Home visits has helped me understand the extent to which families suffer to raise kids born with such kind of disability. We know this kind of problems. We know the intellectual disabilities. We have autism. We have Down syndrome. We have mental. Just to name. All these conditions, cerebral palsy included and others, can be improved if early intervention is provided. But our silence has, or our awareness campaigns have not been enough, or they are too little. We need to join hands, all of us, from wherever we are, from where we sit, to help families suffering in silence, and to help children hidden away, locked, others chained, away from the public eye. But such platform still rekindle me the hope that together we can make a difference. That the UN resolution on inclusion and accessibility can be achieved if we can all speak out. If we can make a follow-up on the laws that we have created.
I make a call upon people. Be aware, take note. We have people around that have special abilities. I don't like to call them people with disabilities. They're people with special abilities. They have so much to give to the world. So just bring them into your heart, bring them into your life, give them opportunities, and just look at them. They're working, they're doing fantastic things. And this is something we all have to be aware of and push for it to happen everywhere. So that would be my message. They're different, but they're not less. They're part of us, they're part of our society, they're part of our world, and we just have to integrate them and share what we have with them.
Okay, my name is Samuel Mushiri. I'm the ward administrator in charge of Ongata Rungai. And today we are here at Don Orione Center to celebrate the International Day of People Living with Disability. One of the things that as a county government we have played is to ensure that in terms of service delivery, in terms of getting all the necessary documents for Don Orione Center to continue, we have been in support to that. We have ensured that we worked closely with them, especially the private partnership relationship. And Don Orione Center has been a good institution towards making a difference, especially in the county government of Kajiado. About what I mentioned when we are outside there, when we were inside there, it is about the deaf, our deaf team, that is the basketball the deaf team, which come from here at Ole Kasasi Center. During the Deaf International sports that were held at Kasarani, our deaf ladies, they took gold. They were the first position, and then the men who had the bronze, and which today I want to take this opportunity to congratulate them.
Well, I think there's still a lot way to go. Some societies have come forward more than others. Specifically, Chile has made a huge difference in the last 40 years. We've raised awareness. We included them in schools, in universities, in jobs, in every aspect of their life. So we made big advances. There's still a lot to go. And here maybe Kenya is a little bit more forward, but we're working together. I mean, we as a developing country, we like to do what we call South-South cooperation. And that mostly is capacity building with other countries that are our friends, and we like to do that here. That's why we're working with the Oronia Center. We're helping out, we're cooperating in everything we can, and we do it with such pleasure you can't believe it. It's really something very near to our heart, and we're very happy to do it.
Number one is to ensure that we have set policies that are set to ensure that in terms of even them engaging in business, there is zero payment of taxes. For example, if somebody has a business, maybe a tailoring shop, maybe a shop, any kind of business, we ensure that they don't pay anything. That's one of the greatest things that we do. And most of the times we have programs that we bring along, especially sometimes giving them wheelchairs, sometimes giving them food. Those are some of the small processes that we are doing. But more so, we want to ensure that they have good policies that protects their rights. Because you'll find most of the times their rights are being affected in one way or another. And as a county government, we stand firm to ensure that the rights of people living with disability is well protected. And this you'll find, especially when houses are being constructed, there is that law that says that you must provide areas for them to walk in. If it's toilets, you have to ensure that you have toilets that will cater for people living with disability. So when you go for your approvals, number one, you have to prove beyond any reasonable doubt that you're going to ensure that you protect and ensure that is covered. The greatest message that I will wish to convey to the people of Kajiado, and especially even in Kenya in general, is that one person, you may have a particular weakness, but that doesn't mean that you're unable to continue living. Because in one way or another, you may have a strength in a particular area. And I give a good example. Somebody like Deno, I'm always proud of Deno. He cuts across. You'll find him entertaining people of all caliber. He's not